Not many times, but on those occasions when he would ask me, could I pass on something to Mr. Dylan, I may have said to him, I'll try and pass it along, or words to that effect.
Where did this interview take place between yourself and Mr. Dylan?
It was over dinner at a restaurant called Il Cielo here in Beverly Hills.
And do you recall when it took place?
August 5th, 1988, in the evening, sometime around 7, 8 o'clock, something like that.
Thank you. And was anyone else present at the table with you?
Yes, Elliot Mintz, who was at the time Bob Dylan's publicist. Said before, it sounded like the tour had maybe kept him from writing as much as he had in the past.
James Damiano versus Sony Music Entertainment Incorporated and Bob Dylan. And the case number is 95-4795. We're here at the offices of Parcher and Hayes, located at 500 Fifth Avenue, New York, New York. And this is a deposition of Tony Tiller. This time counsel will identify themselves.
Stephen Kramer for the plaintiff.
Orange Snyder and Ruth Lott for Sony Music Entertainment, Inc. and Bob Dylan.
At this time, I have the court reporter swearing the witness.
Raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear in the testimony you are about to give that you will tell the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you very much. Okay. Mr. Tiller, good morning. You are employed by whom, sir?
Sony Music.
And how long have you been employed by Sony Music?
For 9 years on staff, 10 years if you count, approximately a year and 2 months as temp / per diem. I was promoted to Associate Director of Marketing Services.
Did you ever have in your office any compilations of any sort of Mr. Damiano's songs that you kept on your bookshelf?
When you say compilation, what?
Folder, binder, book, tablet.
Printed
material, anything.
Printed material, yes.
Okay, and draw, if you would, so I can picture it, and the jury can picture it, a verbal picture of your office, and where, and then after you do that, where the material rested.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, so the record's clear. Are we talking about, because you may have had more than one office over the course of the years, so you might want to...
Sure, if you had more than one office, take me through it.
Okay, when I first started as a temp, I moved from office to office to cover for people who were on vacation.
Okay, just to speed it up a touch, perhaps. If you would, Mr. Tiller, limit yourself to the offices in which these materials were ever located.
Okay, my first office, I had, the door would be, say, in that corner. Over here, I had 2 file cabinets, a table, a small table to my left attached to my desk, an art desk in that corner, a bookcase right next to that, and next to that a file cabinet.
Okay, thank you.
The book that Jim had given me would be on that bookcase.
To your right?
To my right.
Okay. And what year did you receive that book initially?
I don't recall.
Okay, and what did it have in it?
It had a bunch of songs, or a bunch of, I guess, well, he called them songs, so I called them songs, but they were words written in verse form.
Was it in a binder, a folder?
It was in a binder.
Like a 3-ring binder?
3-ring binder.
And where is that today?
I do not know.
When was the last time you saw it?
When we were in the CBS building at 52 West 52nd Street.
And what happened to them, those materials of songs or words?
No, I do not.
Just disappeared?
Well, when we moved from that building approximately 4 or 5 years ago, as I explained to Jim, we were to pack our own desks. We were pressed to work until the day we moved, pretty much. And the movers came in and packed everything else. There were things that were left behind.
And so could you pinpoint, Mr. Tiller, what year Mr. Damiano's book of songs or words disappeared from your office?
You did not say disappeared. You're mischaracterizing his testimony. Did not say they disappeared.
So
Well, if you mischaracterize the testimony...
Oh, that's an exception to our stipulation? So that means during Mr. Mintz's deposition, every time you... Did Mr. Damiano's songs, Mr. Tiller, disappear?
Could I have you rephrase that?
Sure. What happened to his songs that had been on your shelf for how long?
1.5, possibly 2 years.
Okay. The songs, or that binder, without... That binder disappeared, did it not?
They were left in the building when we moved.
And did you ever go back to retrieve it or to ask where it was?
No, I did not. There were...
And is that building still owned by CBS?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And that's CBS's headquarters, yes?
Yes.
And all we know now, and all the jury knows now, is that you don't have it, correct?
That is correct.
And Sony does not have it, to your knowledge.
Sony does not have it.
Right. And if we went to your office today, where your office used to be on 52nd Street, did that?
No, I did not.
And all we know now, and all the jury knows now, is that you don't have it, correct?
That is correct.
And Sony does not have it, to your knowledge.
Sony does not have it.
Right. And if we went to your office today, where your office used to be on 52nd Street, at CBS's headquarters, did you ever tell Mr. Damiano that his materials had been lost, or left behind, or disappeared?
Yes, I did.
And what did he say?
I can't recall exactly what he said. But I did tell him I was sorry.
Counsel, this is the second witness in a row, literally, who received materials from the plaintiff comprising one or more of his songs, where the materials have disappeared, whether you want to use the word disappeared, lost, destroyed, evaporated, whatever phrase you want to use. And I want the record to note that it's the second witness in a row. Mr. Mintz testified that he destroyed Mr. Damiano's faxed materials. And no, not only did he destroy them, he went further. He said he shredded them.
Mm-hmm.
And now Mr. Tiller is saying that the binder of materials of songs that Mr. Tiller received got lost, disappeared, don't exist. And I want that to be clear, that that has occurred.
He said, oh yeah, that's very good. He loves it, and he will make sure he's forward to us.
When you say he swore to us, did he use those words, I
No.
swear to you?
Oh, he promised. He promised us.
And did you...
I was totally convinced that,
You-
he was going to give the songs to Bob.
Let's go back to the Jones Beach concert, if we may, to the time when you offered the tickets to Mr. Damiano before the concert actually took place. Okay. During that point in time when you offered the tickets to him and before he actually went to the concert, did you ever say to him or suggest to him that maybe he should bring some of his songs with him?
No, I did not.
Any? Do you deny saying that, or is it you just don't recall one way or the other?
I deny suggesting to Jim that he bring songs along with him. I did, however, concur with him when he asked me, do you think I should bring my songs with me? I said, sure, why not? What could it hurt?
Are those the words you used? Sure, why not? What could it hurt?
Jim handed the book, started to hand the book to him, and then someone else came over and took the lyric, whether it was a book or an envelope with the lyrics in it, took this package and walked towards the bus along with the other people, and they all got onto the bus, the door closed, and the bus drove away.
More questions. Okay. So we can end the inconvenience for you. You said you met Mikey Harris through her son Duke.
No, I met Mikey Harris first at Tony Tiller's house at a party. That's when I met. No, I met Mikey Harris first at Tony Tiller's house at a party. That's when I met Mikey Harris.
And you met Mikey Harris through her son Duke.
No, I met Mikey Harris first at Tony Tiller's house at a party. That's when I met Mikey Harris.
Sir, I want to turn now to this meeting that you said happened with Mr. Tiller. Do you remember when that occurred? Your statement says July of '87. Is that about when it happened?
Yeah, I believe so. For Anthony to come out, we sat there for a while. Jim had his lyrics books with him, one big thick book, and we were just sitting there for a while. Then Anthony came out. I remember him being in a suit, good-looking, like black man, gentleman, and he took us inside. Yes, and we went to his office. And we just sat down. It was like a big chair, one of these, looked like a recliner kind of chair, but it was just a big chair that I was sitting in. And they were acting like they were good friends. I mean, talking, hugging, you know. And they read some of the lyrics. He had Jim's book in his desk, and he was reading through it. Jim was pointing out certain lyrics to him, and they were talking and talking. Then we got into a conversation about recording this my cousin's Joanne tape, and I just wanted to get some feedback from Anthony based on his position in this company, what he believes that anything could happen with this if we produce it. And the feedback I got is absolutely yes. That we got into the Bob Dylan situation. Does he read? Is he getting James Damiano's lyrics? And I remember the answer, yes. He's been reading his lyrics, and I even remember recalling Anthony bringing up Bruce Springsteen's name. And I was just like from nowhere. I never heard that before, but it just came up that Jim's lyrics was also given to Bruce Springsteen, which I knew who that was. And I remember leaving this meeting with a very good feeling. Okay, I was convinced by Anthony is if I produce this record, if I pay for it, that it could end up being a very big hit.
Okay, sir. And that's basically what happened at the meeting?
That's basically it. I left there with very good vibes.
And If you can tell us what the office looked like in a little more detail, were there records on the wall? Were there...
There were records in the lobby. I know that. There were a bunch of records in the lobby. I was only in that building that one.
Can you list for me, sir, what other songwriters, other than Mr. Damiano, whose material you had on any shelf in your office while employed either by CBS or Sony?
Songwriters. Do the Gershwins count?
Appreciation, anything.
Tokens of appreciation.
Or gifts, anything that you can think of.
None that I can recall, but if I did it as a friend to a friend, because I considered Jim a very good friend. And I occasionally give my friends things as my friends give me things.
Okay.